You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your IT Fundamentals certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. In this episode, we compare two common methods of device installation that every IT professional should understand: plug and play and web-based configuration. Both approaches are used to set up hardware and peripherals in different environments, but they function in very different ways. Plug and play allows immediate use with minimal setup, while web-based configuration gives users or technicians access to deeper settings and customization options through a browser. Recognizing which method is appropriate and how to complete each process is essential for support roles and device management. This topic appears in Domain 2 of the ITF Plus exam under Peripheral Installation and Configuration. You may be tested on how devices are installed, what steps are required, and what tools or credentials might be needed. Scenario-based questions might describe a technician setting up a printer or router and ask which method they are using or what step comes next. Learning how to differentiate between plug-and-play and web-based configuration strengthens your ability to support users and manage equipment efficiently. Plug-and-play, often abbreviated as PNP, refers to devices that install themselves when connected to a computer. These devices are designed to be detected by the operating system automatically, with drivers applied from a local repository or downloaded in the background. No advanced user input is required for the device to function in a basic capacity. Plug-and-play makes everyday peripherals easy to set up without specialized knowledge or manual driver installations. Common examples of plug-and-play devices include USB keyboards and mice, webcams, headsets, and flash drives. In most modern systems, these devices are recognized as soon as they are plugged in, and basic functions are enabled immediately. External monitors and basic printers also fall into this category when connected via standard ports. In consumer and office settings, these devices help reduce setup time and make IT support more scalable and repeatable. The plug-and-play process starts as soon as the system detects a new device. The operating system identifies the hardware, locates an appropriate driver, installs it, and enables basic functionality. Sometimes, additional software is recommended by the manufacturer to unlock advanced features, but the device will typically work without it. This seamless installation model is a major reason why USB devices are preferred in many environments. Plug-and-play has several advantages. It's fast, convenient, and minimizes user involvement. It also reduces the chances of installation errors since the process is standardized. For IT support technicians, it allows the rapid deployment of workstations and replacement of faulty peripherals without lengthy configuration. Plug-and-play works especially well in classrooms, call centers, and shared computer labs where hardware needs to be installed and removed frequently. Despite its ease of use, plug-and-play has limitations. Some devices do not support advanced functionality without proprietary drivers or configuration software. A printer may work for basic text printing, but lacks support for scanning, duplexing, or custom page sizes. If the operating system lacks the correct driver, or if the driver is outdated or corrupted, the device may not function at all. In such cases, manual driver installation becomes necessary to ensure full compatibility. Managing plug-and-play drivers is part of daily IT work. Most operating systems update drivers through services like Windows Update, but technicians can also use Device Manager to install, update, roll back, or uninstall drivers. If a device is misbehaving, reinstalling the driver is often the first step in troubleshooting. Understanding where drivers are stored, how to obtain them from vendors, and how to check compatibility is crucial for maintaining plug-and-play environments. In contrast, web-based configuration involves accessing a device's settings through a browser interface over the network. This method is common for devices that include networking capabilities, such as printers, wireless access points, routers, IP cameras, and smart home hubs. Unlike plug-and-play, this method often requires a user to know the device's IP address, enter login credentials, and manually adjust settings through an interface presented in the browser. To access a web-based configuration page, a technician typically identifies the device's IP address, either from the device display, through a connected host machine, or by consulting the network's DHCP table. Once the address is known, it is entered into a web browser to launch the configuration page. The user then logs in with a default or customized username and password. From there, settings like network configuration, firmware updates, and access control can be managed. Web-based configuration is most commonly found on network devices that require custom setup and remote management. Examples include wireless routers, network-enabled printers, IP-based security cameras, and smart hubs used in home automation. These devices typically offer basic plug-and-play detection on first connection, followed by more advanced settings accessible through a web browser interface. This combination of ease of access and configuration depth makes them both flexible and powerful in a wide range of environments. The types of settings accessed through web-based configuration can vary by device, but often include essential networking options like assigning static IP addresses, setting DNS servers, or configuring Wi-Fi credentials. You may also find tools for checking firmware version, performing system diagnostics, or creating access control rules. Web interfaces sometimes include logs to track device events, or alerts for failures or low resource conditions, which is especially helpful for enterprise support teams. One of the biggest advantages of web-based configuration is that it allows centralized and remote management. A technician doesn't need to be physically present at the device if it's reachable over the network. Changes can be made quickly from any web browser, including security updates, port settings, or user account adjustments. This approach improves scalability for organizations managing many devices and supports the trend toward cloud-managed infrastructure. However, web-based configuration also presents some limitations. Devices must be on the network and accessible from a browser, which may require additional configuration for routing or port access. Some web interfaces are only compatible with certain browsers or may use outdated plugins. Furthermore, a forgotten username or password can lock out users, and an incorrectly applied setting, such as disabling the network port, can make the device unreachable. Many devices combine both plug-and-play and web-based configuration. For instance, a network printer may be automatically detected by the operating system via plug-and-play, allowing it to print right away. But to configure advanced features like duplex printing, scan-to-email, or custom network settings, the technician may access its web interface. This hybrid approach is increasingly common in enterprise and home networks, as it allows fast setup followed by in-depth customization. When troubleshooting web-based setup issues, several steps should be followed. First, confirm the device is powered on and connected to the network. Use DHCP logs or ping tools to identify the correct IP address. If the web interface fails to load, check for browser compatibility or try another device. If the login credentials don't work, a factory reset may be necessary. Always consult the manufacturer's documentation to confirm the correct procedure for recovery and firmware updates. Choosing between plug-and-play and web-based configuration depends on the device type and user requirements. Simple peripherals like keyboards and mice will always default to plug-and-play, as no additional settings are needed. Devices with network ports, displays, or multiple user accounts are more likely to support or require web-based configuration. The device's manual or quick start guide typically indicates which method is expected and what steps should follow initial connection. On the ITF Plus exam, you may see scenarios where a technician is asked to install a network device or troubleshoot a peripheral. You might need to identify whether the device will be detected automatically or requires logging in through a browser. Other questions may test your knowledge of what settings are available via each method and what risks are associated with incomplete setup. Familiarity with these installation types increases both your test performance and your confidence in live environments. In day-to-day IT work, technicians are expected to install and configure both plug-and-play and web-configurable devices. This includes local peripherals like USB printers and networked equipment like routers, access points, or managed switches. Setup also includes ensuring the device is secure, functional, and compatible with user needs. Documentation of settings, firmware versions, and default credentials may also be part of a technician's workflow. Security is a shared concern for both installation types. For plug-and-play devices, the risk may come from rogue USB devices or outdated drivers. For web-configured systems, weak passwords, exposed ports, or outdated firmware pose serious vulnerabilities. Part of every technician's job is to reduce these risks by following best practices, changing default passwords, keeping firmware up to date, and verifying all devices are properly configured before deployment. The ability to perform both types of installations is foundational in most IT environments. Whether setting up user devices, configuring printers in a shared workspace, or deploying network equipment across multiple locations, technicians must adapt their approach based on device complexity and use case. Mastery of both plug-and-play and browser-based workflows ensures efficient, secure, and effective support, no matter what the hardware requires. To summarize, plug-and-play installations provide quick and easy setup for common peripherals, while web-based configuration allows advanced control and customization for network devices. Knowing when and how to use each method is an essential part of IT support, exam readiness, and successful hardware deployment. By learning to manage both approaches, you build the flexibility and technical knowledge needed to thrive in any computing environment. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.